by the way, on the dance, and then story artists as well as animators refined that choreography. But it sure comes alive with lighting, and I think this transition shows that. Lighting in the computer doesn't mean simply shining a light on a surface. It also means how the surface reacts to light. Does it look like stone or dirt or skin? All of these things called textures are painted, and then they're wrapped kind of like rubber wallpaper around the surfaces of the characters to create the complex patterns of light and shadow that appear on the characters. Great lighting supervisors. A team of about 30 people were headed up by Janet Rentel, Gene Cunningham, Paul Wang, and Craig Ring. The four of them working with this talented group of people of every background, from very technical to very artistic. Painters and programmers all help cooperate to produce the beautifully lit images of the film.
And again, it's often the little things that are done in lighting, as with every other specialty, that really make these images sing. You know, the highlights in the eyes of the characters, the way that the sheen on their bodies is just so.
We did a little special effects work in this as well, with making the lighting look a little like through cheesecloth, through a little Vaseline on the lens, a little glowiness to things. All of those special effects add to the filmic lighting to create a little magic moment for Z and Bala.
This is great, just to see all four versions play at once, and you can see, looking at the upper left and lower right, how similar many things are, and also see where decisions were made in the process to change things based on discoveries we made in layout or even motion.
The process is a lot of people and a lot of time. We may go through storyboarding a sequence many times, and it may be 6 months of storyboarding, going through several different story artists trying things out before it goes through layout. Layout has a couple weeks where 4 people or so work on it to perfect it. And then we go to motion. A sequence like this can take a team of our animators, perhaps about 8 of them working on this sequence. They might work on the sequence for another 8 weeks or so before it's handed to lighting. And they again may work with a team of about 8 people or so, taking another 8 weeks to complete it. Any given scene of the 36 scenes in our movie may actually take upwards of almost a year to actually go through the entire pathway of production.
So you can imagine how many shots are actually in production at one time. It's quite a job to manage all of that and make sure that everybody gets the feedback they need to keep moving forward.
It's true, we sing the praises of all of our artists, but the production management, actually guiding this stuff through production, is terrific. Aaron Warder, Brad Lewis, Patty Wooten were the heads of that whole production management as the producers of the film, and they really created a team that could efficiently generate all of this creative output.
So this is the section of the sequence, of course, where the drop of water comes down and Trap Z.
Another look at how the story is really told so effectively with some very simple drawings before you get all of the elaborateness of computer animation, and before you get 100 people involved. You can really make an impact as a story artist on the film.
And you certainly learn a lot by seeing the whole film this way before you take it into production.
You in particular, a sequence like this one, which is so difficult to do water in computers, our effects department, Ken Bielenberg and Philippe Gluckman in particular, as heads of the department, they look at the storyboard and they start to see the problems facing them as effects animators, and they begin to work with programmers and design all of the different technical ways in which they're going to pull off the sequence.
At this stage, the modeling department starts supplying final models for things too, so that we can lock down camera angles and what have you. So Conrad Dutton leads a team that is working furiously to make sure that we have the high-resolution models that we need to tell the story.
You can see a lot of the very early work of the effects department, and I think I mentioned actually in the commentary during the film how we altered the height of that water drop. You can see the pre-altered height and how really very short distance they fall.
Here's the water drops that have been added.
The effects department's work.
Effects worked on this.
The geodesic dome.
Yes.
It looks like he's trying to escape from Epcot Center, which, if you've been there, maybe you've experienced too.
He's trapped in Buckminster Fullerene.
Great interaction between Bala and the stuff the effects guys did with that sphere. And there we have again the long drop this time. Compare that to what we saw in the layout, and you'll see how dramatically stronger that feeling is when we increase the height.
I think we ended up losing a lot of the water drops on the characters when we took them into lighting because it was just distracting.
Yeah.
So you get to this very final stage and often are making a number of adjustments.
Lighting, yeah, just extraordinary to get the water, all the refractions, and all of the strange effects that water has on light. Ouch! Here's a little bit of water on the ground, but we really just felt it was too distracting to make a big deal out of it.